Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Giants. I am Mentor, this is my forever co-host Jum. Today we talk about our last animated movie that is an old movie but has been re-released in some parts of the world. Except us, because I don't know. Um,
Uh, they are releasing it here sometime soon.
oh, so,
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend are gonna go.
nice. But yeah, as you've seen in the title and thumbnail, we're talking about Coraline, the 2009 movie that is a sleeper hit from Leica Studios, who of course did Kubo and Two Strings, and I forgot what else. Paranorman.
Paranorman. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they have a new movie next year.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't
Uh,
know that. Sadly, though, like you do kind of see the struggle here. They're not like Pixar or like any other animation studio
yeah.
where like they can pump out any kind of story just like that. They really kind of have to see what hits.
Yeah.
Say like, in my opinion, people said Paranorman's a hit. I haven't seen it yet, but Coraline was a hit, and so was Kubo. And I really think they're picking their battles here because, sadly, like stop motion animators are not like getting the right amount of spotlight.
Yeah, and like I watched just after Kubo because I was like, I need
Mm.
more of this studio, and like
Really?
I haven't seen Paranorman, but I of course seen Kubo, and like this is my second Leica Studios movie, and I really liked it. Like it stars Dakota Fanning, Keith David, and like I'm forgetting who else. Ian McShane from John Wick. Well, we know him from John Wick now, but back then people knew him as the guy from that one show on HBO, Deadwood, I think the name was. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but like he's quite. You're like, yeah, wow, you're talented. You have a talented accent, sir. It's a irony that the next movie you do years from now is like about a guy killing the Russian mob over a puppy, but sure. But going back to this movie again, like I'll say, would like, um, what do we do? Howl's Moving Castle, like it's visually stunning in its own way. It's so like dark, but not gritty. It was like it's gothic, almost. But you're like, it's devoid of color. But that devoidance of color, you're like, I can't stop looking, and it's just the animation style too.
It is very eerie.
Yeah.
I can't say it's devoid of color because, not gonna lie, the way they did their color palette here was fucking beautiful. When they wanted to show something very bright,
Yeah, that
well,
is true.
the difference between Coraline's reality and the parallel universe where the parents have like buttons for eyes, it's much brighter in the parallel universe because it's supposed to be like a deception. It's supposed to be a facade
Yeah,
where everything's very nice, happy, and like very bright. While in her real life, it's very gray and dark. I do see where you're coming from, but I will say it leans towards the eerie more.
Huh.
And I have to admit, I love this movie because I do experience a house that is exactly kind of like this one.
you have another mother, another father. I never knew this
No,
about you.
sadly, no. I never had that kind of storyline, but like somewhere up north of the Philippines, where it's a little colder and a little creepier,
Oh yeah,
there's a house there where my family likes to stay, maybe once every 2 years or something like that, and it immediately gave me the vibes that the Coraline house gave.
yeah, and like just with the animation alone, like when they want to emphasize something that's creepy, like I know this movie's old, so Other Mother's
Yeah.
final form, you're like Jesus Christ, forgot why this movie kind of scared me back in the day. Like the first thing that made me go, I don't think I'm ready for that movie is the button eyes. I'm just like, ugh, why?
Dude, the entire concept of like the other mother is just so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
Like the start of the film is like her making another doll,
yeah,
and she's like reusing and recycling, good for her, a doll, and she made it into Coraline. That scene alone already kind of gave me the, like, are you afraid of the dark
Mm,
vibes. And good on you, Neil Gaiman,
yeah,
for making this story. And it's just so freaky.
it is.
Seeing like the needles for hands just doing their thing,
Yeah,
and the design of the other mother once she starts like turning a little feral. I'm like, hell nah,
yeah.
hell the fuck nah.
I love the I love the like at first, it's like yeah, obviously why wouldn't Coraline stay here? Because her parents are so neglectful, and like
Yeah.
they're so busy with their own life they forgot about their child. So you're like, yeah, why won't you stay here? But like you've seen, like at that point, I've seen a lot of movies, so I'm like, there's something off about you. Don't know what it is. And then
Yeah.
the movie unravels, and you're like, oh, oh. Especially when she's like, you want to stay here forever? Give me your fucking eyes. And you're like, what? No.
Yeah, like, hey, here's a present. It's a box of just buttons, and you're just like, no.
Right?
And yeah, I love that though. Like, there's a tale of like these three kids who were clearly the previous victims of the other mother,
Yeah.
and I just love that they didn't go into detail on like what happened to them. They just like the story's there, but you don't know. There's no exposition on it, and
Yeah.
kind of gives that folklore-y, like legend of the house kind of vibe. They're just other victims, and like even like Whitey's like aunt, was it?
Yeah.
Like she was one of the victims, and I'm like, that's so fucking creepy.
Yeah. I think that I saw a video preview of The Ghost as a kid, and I was like, I don't like. And then I never watched the movie until like later in life. But like,
Dude, I didn't watch it when it came out either. I'm just like, no, I'm gonna watch this when I'm a little bit older.
right? It's a shame because I watched this 2017, a year after Kubo. So I'm like, I'm old enough to take this movie, right? And then
Yeah.
I was still creeped out, but I was like, interesting. It's a shame that Laika isn't like Pixar or the other Disney studios or even what do you call the one of Shrek? Forgot.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks or Universal, even.
Hmm.
Because they do choose their battles, but when they do come up with a movie, it's usually something that's like you're like you don't think of the themes too hard and you have a good time. But when you do think of the themes, you're like, oh damn, oh shit. Like with the
Yeah.
kids, you're like, you're still like, how did you end up here? One, can you tell me how? At second thought, I actually don't, because I don't want to be creeped out anymore. But like,
Yeah.
your imagination fills the void, and you're like, let's not do that.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right? Like they show us the other mother. They show us who she is and what she becomes in, what she turns into,
Yeah,
and you kind of just imagine now like the amount of horror the kids went through,
yeah,
and that's really great design from like the animators
yeah,
who did this movie, and I'm just like,
yeah.
great
I-
job.
Like towards the
Chef's
end,
kiss.
when Coraline does rescue her parents and other mothers just banging at the door, that's like, I mean, like, no, thank you, don't open the door, please.
She's just like she's absolutely just shaking the motherfucker. I'm like, oh hell no!
Right.
I swear to God, if I watch this as a kid, I'm gonna make my kid watch this. But like,
As
I'm
an
not a kid.
experiment, you're like, watch this.
Oh yeah. I'm like, this is cinema. Just like, and like he'll just be scared of cellar doors now.
Right,
You know, he has absolute like claustrophobia.
right. The design of the tunnel too, you're like, at first you're like, that doesn't look too bad. Towards the end, you're like, I don't want to ever be in a crawl space ever again.
Right? Like it starts to like jump her around while she's like trying to crawl out, which
Yeah.
is like a dream.
Yeah,
You know how like in the nightmare you're trying to run away from something, but it doesn't seem like you're getting that far.
and you still have the hand to deal with. You're like, no, thank you. Can you stop this movie, please? If I saw this as a kid, I think I'd be like, I don't like it, movies anymore. They make me scared. But yeah, it's a very good movie. Like a lot of these movies, except for Transformers, unfortunately, they don't show their age. Like Coraline, I can't believe was in 2009, and House Movie Cancel, I can't believe was in the beginning of the 2000s.
If they yeah, I swear to God, if they made told us that they made Coraline this year, I would not expected that. I would not suspect that it was like, oh, this is an older film.
Right?
No, it is so fucking good. This is the story, like the journey she takes, all the Horcruxes that she has to gather, just to like
Yeah,
get through the parallel dimension that she's in.
yeah,
All the freaky like parallels of what she has in the
Yeah.
other world,
yeah,
like all of that. Like you're at the edge of your seat the entire time once it hits the fan. It's a very slow start. And that's
Yeah.
what I like. You
Yeah.
know, she's a bored kid. She goes through about her day, and then she finds an amazing world, clearly dangerous.
Yeah.
Like she finds out that it's dangerous, and then yeah, the entire time once that happens, you're at the edge of your seat. And good job on to like the director of this, Neil Gaiman, and the studio. What was the name again?
Like a studio.
Like a studio.
Yeah.
And like it's so fucking good. And are we at the ratings?
I was about to say the button moon, the one that is getting closer, really reminded me of Majora's Mask. That's why I was like, how is this movie gonna end? I also forgot there's things that are a bit too oh my for kids, like when the ladies were performing as mermaids. I'm like, Jesus Christ, forgot about this part.
Well, I put those things away, ladies.
Yes.
But I love that. You gotta love it when animation studios kind of know that hey, kids aren't the only ones going to be watching this.
Yeah.
You could put an adult joke in here, and clearly the kid won't get it, but the adults will.
Yeah.
They'll put something where like, oh, it doesn't really bother the child all that much, but when you're older, you're like, are we
Yeah.
allowed to put that in?
It's one of those moments where I'm like, I kind of wish I was back in 2009 to just see the parents being like, it's just an animated movie. And when that part comes up, they're like, oh my, kid.
Yeah, my mom loves Coraline. Like she
Ooh.
read the Neil Gaiman book before the movie came out, so I'm like, she already knew what she was coming into. But when she watched the movie, she was just amazed with the 2D animation.
Mm.
And sometimes you can't even like believe that it is 2D.
Right?
Sorry, 2D. Sorry, stop motion. My God, I've been saying the
Ah.
wrong thing. Yeah, you won't even believe that it is stop motion.
Yeah, it's so seamless.
You're right. It's very smooth and seamless.
Yeah.
Again, kudos to Leica Studio.
Yeah. But yeah, ratings. What would you rate Coraline?
I can't find any fault. Even though I rewatched it like
Yeah.
last night, I really can't find a fault in it. I enjoyed every second of it, and I'm just like, maybe, nah, not a single fault. I really can't think of anything.
So is it
And
10 out of 10?
it's a 10 out of 10. I really can't think of any other movie that kind of gave me this kind of scare factor.
Hmm.
Maybe Monster House, like in a kids movie, they give you this like maybe bit of trauma.
Yeah, I'm like, oh damn, I forgot how traumatizing Steve Buscemi is. I haven't seen that movie in
Yeah.
a while, so I wouldn't really
It's
know.
so good. Yeah, I love it that my girlfriend loves Coraline and Monster House.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Alright.
So yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. I do miss when studios who make children movies or like kids movies start putting a little bit of adult themes into it, like, or make it really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that this movie did it, I'm like, I am so down to rewatch this, and maybe 20 to 30 years from now, when I have a kid or something, I'm gonna make them watch it because, in my opinion, it is gonna be timeless. You're not gonna tell that it aged a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'll give it a 10 out of 10 as well. It's like House Moving Castle, like give it something lower. Why? I can't really
Right?
tell you why.
Same here. I'm like trying to critique a movie. I'm like trying to like be a movie reviewer. Don't give everything a 10 out of 10. I'm like, I can't find any fault.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the movie.
right? Like if you don't like slow starts, that's the only fault I have. But I don't mind slow starts as long as it leads to something worthwhile. If it leads to bullshit, I'm like, then it's a 2 out of 10 then. But for this, it led to something that is hardly recreated. Like studios taking a chance of like, it's animated, but let's put some spice into it at the very least. And like whether we swing or miss, people will remember us. And it was I would say a cult hit because I don't remember 2009 being like, it's the best movie ever. I remember it being,
It's all just like indie or like the hipsters who know
yeah,
Coraline.
yeah. Because
you were
2009,
saying?
yeah, it was all like, what's the name of the sad movie of Disney? They're all sad. But like the old man and his wife who dies at the beginning. Up.
Up.
Yeah. It was all that and some other movie. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There were two movies, in my opinion, that were so underrated. I don't know if it came out the same year, but it was Coraline and the movie Nine, or like Number Nine.
Fuck, I forgot about that movie. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
with Elijah Wood. I feel like we need to do a review on that for like the Halloween special.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, you put like a core memory back. I was like, gee, fuck, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
so good, so fucking good.
But yeah, to the audience watching, what's a very underrated animated movie that you guys like? I know I've asked this before for like Atlantis and Treasure Planet, but like since Coraline is re-releasing, I think this is the best time to ask that question again because like the fans of the underrated animated movies will fight to death for those movies like Treasure Planet, Coraline, Atlantis, Road to El Dorado, which I haven't seen in a hot minute, so I'm not sure if I still like it, but who knows.
Bruh, once you see the Latina girl, you're just gonna be blown away.
I don't think that's the point, but sure, for sure.
I mean, the amazing animation.
Oh, of course, sure. Why not? This is the second time you've let the degeneracy flow, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, if you like our stuff, if you want to see some of our degenerate stuff, we still have them. If you're curious in that, especially our 100 subscriber special, right? But yeah, if you like our videos, including those, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zodas Voices on TikTok and Ends Wolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JomJoM_ on Instagram. It is Maradicon.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.